Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we are talking about the top 10 insane conjoined twins. The chance of having conjoined twins is 1 in 189,000, with the highest rate of cases occurring in Southeast Asia and Africa. Sadly, half are stillborn and a further 1/3 die within 24 hours. Stay tuned to meet the brave souls who survive the odds in just one moment. Before we get into this list, why don't you guys tell me if you have a brother or sister? Are you a twin? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, if you like our videos, please do show us by leaving a good thumbs up and share this with a friend. Also, if you guys want to connect with me on social media, the link to my Instagram is in the description box. Alright, let's start off with two girls, one body at number 10. We have some very recognizable twins, Abby and Brittany Hensel. Meet Abby and Brittany. They're conjoined twins who have separate heads but share a body. These are probably the two most famous conjoined siblings in the world right now, especially thanks to their 2012 TLC show, which ran for one season. The girls were born in 1990 and have gained worldwide fame for their unusual look. The girls eat and write separately but share several vital organs. Each twin controls their half of the body, and the American twins haven't let their disability get in the way of their social group or education. They went to university and they can drive, sharing the task together. Hats off to them. Coming in at number 9, we have Anais and Jaden McDonald. This is quite a story. In 2016, 13-month-old toddlers Jaden and Anais McDonald were born joined at the head. The pair shared some key blood vessels, and their brains were very tightly and intricately tied together. Dr. James Goodrich had performed 6 separation operations prior to this one and even mocked up a model head to study the separation in advance. The parents of the two boys shared their story with CNN, allowing the news publication access to one of the most intense days of their lives. After sharing a head for over a year, the boys were finally separated in November 2016, and the operation was a success. A year and a half later, both boys, along with their 4-year-old brother, are enjoying lives as normal toddlers. What an incredible feat of modern medicine. Taking it back almost 1,000 years, we have the Bedenden maids at number 8. Conjoined twins aren't anything new. Birth defects have been around since humans have been having children. Medically speaking, these days we are a lot better at dealing with them. We can do a lot of things to assist joined children, but hundreds and even thousands of years ago, those who were lucky enough to survive childbirth pretty much just had to live with it. The Bedenden maids were Mary and Eliza Chalkhurst from Bedenden in Kent, England. These ladies were thought to be alive in 1100, and they were said to have been joined at the hip and the shoulder. The siblings would sometimes fight, resulting in blows, but in the end they would come through it. Age 34, Mary died, and doctors said that they would try to separate the dead twin from the living, but Eliza said no. She refused, saying that we came together, we will also go together. She died 6 hours later. The women were wealthy, and on their deathbeds they gave 5 plots of land to the town, known as the bread and cheese lands. The income the town makes from these lands each year is used to feed the poor every Easter. To this day, biscuits are given out with 2 women side by side on them. Coming in at number 7, we have the two-headed nightingale. Twins Millie and Christina McCoy were born in 1851. They lived to actually the pretty decent age of 61. The era the pair lived in held conjoined twins up as a bit of a sideshow, which is basically exactly how these two were treated. Known as the two-headed nightingale, the girls were enslaved performers in a traveling show. They sang for enthused audiences across the globe and were often billed as the 8th wonder of the world, or more cruelly, freaks of nature. After slavery was abolished in 1863, the pair moved to England, where they were separated, but they kept on singing. They actually wrote a really fantastic autobiography, which is kind of worth a read. Coming in at number 6, we have Madeline, Macy and Mackenzie Garrison. In 2002, 3 unusual triplets were born. Triplets are already pretty rare, but these 3 girls were especially noteworthy. Of the trio, 2, Macy and Mackenzie, were born conjoined. These girls were born conjoined at the pelvis with a shared 3rd leg and entwined intestines. The trio's story gets even crazier, if you can believe it. They were put up for adoption. Their care worker, Linda Contis, said nobody wanted these babies, which is really, really sad. Look at a picture of the 3 of them, they're just so cute. Anyway, Darla and Jeff Garrison fostered the girls despite already having 3 sons. Now eventually they formally adopted them and helped them through the separation process. The twins were uncoupled in September 2003. The uncoupling hasn't come without issues though. The girls both need a prosthetic leg, which as they grow is constantly being updated. Nonetheless, Mother Darla is proud of the girls, who are now sweet and responsible teenagers. Coming in at number 5, we have Tatiana and Anastasia Dogru. Born in January 2004 in Rome to Romanian parents Claudia and Aylin Dogru, Tatiana and Anastasia are joined at the head. Anastasia relies on Tatiana's kidneys, but Tatiana relies on Anastasia's circulatory system. The situation was treacherous, as if they remained conjoined, they risked early death, but if they were separated, then there was a chance that one of them could die. In the end, their parents decided they would live better lives if separated, but in 2007, surgery was halted because doctors thought that it was too risky. As the pair got older, their brains started growing into one another's. The separation would likely have caused, as suspected, one of the twins to die. The problem is, for the girls, they're joined at a really awkward angle. For one to walk forward, the other has to walk backwards and vice versa. Nonetheless, their parents describe the girls as little warriors. We have the oldest living conjoined twins at number 4. Ronnie and Donnie Galen hold the Guinness World Record for being the oldest and longest living conjoined twins in the entire world. As we may have gathered from this list, being a conjoined twin can mean an early death. Luckily for Ronnie and Donnie, they have defied the odds and celebrated by spending their 63rd birthday at Disney World. Now the pair can't actually go on any of the rides though because of their condition. The pair are joined at the waist and face each other and have 4 arms, 4 legs, separate hearts and stomachs. Now they do share a penis, which Donnie controls. They also share a rectum and a lower digestive tract. Relatives of the American twins who live in Ohio say that the men absolutely love the spotlight. Now the brothers are very close to their sibling, their younger brother Jim, who they live with along with his wife Mary. Now Mary and Jim were the kind souls who organised the Florida theme park adventure for their birthday. The pair say they don't want to be separated. Ronnie said, "The good Lord made us, let our Saviour do it." Okay, we have a final ancient twin at number 3. We have Lazarus and Johannes Baptista Colorado. Contemporary accounts from the 17th century describe Lazarus, an Italian performer, as handsome and courteous. However, he was concealing something under his cloak, a living parasitic twin. Here is a drawing of the siblings for you. As you can see, Johannes Baptista has a head and a leg and a hand that basically just stick out of his brother's body. The pair would tour the world as part of a sideshow, and it's unknown if Johannes could talk, as accounts just seem to mention him moving his hands, toes, ears and lips. Now it seems that the pair actually made a very decent living touring Europe, and eventually Lazarus married and had kids of his own, none of which inherited his condition. I don't be judgmental, but one twin marrying and having kids, like especially the process of having kids, must be pretty awkward for the second twin. What do? Just like look the other way, put some earplugs in, hum really loud? Okay, speaking of an interesting marital situation, I want you to hear the story of the Spider Sisters at number 2. Indian twins Ganga and Jamuna Mondal are known professionally as the Spider Sisters or the Spider Girls. The 48-year-old pair work at the travelling Dreamland Circus, earning £26 British per night, which sounds meagre, but in India is reasonably substantial. The pair refuse to be separated, not because they're worried about the procedure, but because they worry their family will starve without them bringing the money in. Between them, the girls have 2 hearts, 4 arms, 3 legs, a liver and a vagina. They have to walk with their arms, which is perhaps what garnered them their nickname. The girls' marital situation has raised some eyebrows. They're married to one man named Gadahar. He's a carnival worker. When he was asked who he loved more, he answered properly. He said, "I love them both equally." Imagine if he said he loved one more than the other, it'd be all hell to break loose. Ganga said for her it was love at first sight, and she said that her and her sister felt that this was the man who would truly love them. They had a child in 1993, but sadly, she died shortly after childbirth. Finally, this is pretty crazy. Meet the conjoined twins who can read each other's minds and see through each other's eyes. We have Krista and Tatiana Hogan at number 1. These girls are twins, Krista and Tatiana. They are stars of CBC's documentary called Inseparable, and they really are. At first, their parents didn't think they would survive 24 hours, but the girls, who live in BC and Canada, are now aged 11, and they're actually able to attend school, which is pretty awesome. The documentary they were featured in was very eye-opening and followed the girls in the lead up to their 10th birthday. What is truly special about these girls is that they share a thalamic bridge that connects their brains. Now, this allows them to see through one another's eyes, taste what one another's eating, and also read each other's minds without speaking. Their mum, Felicia, said the abilities that they have no one else could imagine having. They're just incredible. They play together without saying a word, get up when one decides she wants to do something else. Their doctor, Juliet Holkin, said that she believes them to be the only twins alive who can control one another's minds and bodies. Imagine that. Can you seriously imagine that though? Like, you would be here, but you'd also be there, and you could look through your own eyes and someone else's eyes, and then someone else is sharing your brain. It's just like a lot. So guys, that was the top 10 insane conjoined twins. What did you think to this list? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also don't forget to let me know if you have a sibling or if you're a twin yourself. Alright, I'm Rebecca Felgate. I'm getting out of here. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, share this video with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists. Bye!